Boom. All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk to you about my top 3 stock picks for the month of May 2021. Now, if you guys have been following along with the channel, then these 3 names will be pretty familiar to you. That said, I do have my reasons for why I believe these 3 will do well, specifically in the month of May, and I'm excited to explain to you guys why. So let's get into it. As always, we'll quickly go over how I want to structure this video, and then we'll dive in. So to kick it off, we will read over this write-up that I made for you guys, which consists of the 3 names we're going to be talking about today, followed by their ticker symbols, followed by a brief summary of why I'm personally bullish on these companies from a fundamental perspective. Keep in mind, you guys, I'm very bullish on the technicals as well. The technicals, the charts look great. They do play a strong role, but of course the fundamentals are very important as well, especially when you're talking about smaller cap stocks, like some of the names we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so we'll go over the fundamentals, and then lastly, we will go over the price targets prior to diving into the charts I know all of you guys are looking at in the back. So end of month price targets. Keep in mind, you guys, these could be a little optimistic, but I'm an optimist, especially when it comes to these stocks. Again, fundamentals, technicals, all aligning in my eyes. The stars are aligning, and yeah, I'm excited to dive in. So let's get into it. Again, we will go over each of these after we cover the fundamentals. We will kind of go back and forth prior to finishing up all 3. So read through ALYI, read through CWORK, read through Aphria, and after we read through the fundamentals, we'll dive into the charts in the back, go over each of these from both a short, medium, and longer term time horizon. And yeah, just do my best to rationalize the price targets that I've set for you guys from a technical perspective. Okay, so we will do that. And yeah, you guys, these videos are pretty straight to the point. They're always fun to make, and I'm excited to dive in once again. But before we do, as always, I will ask you to please give the video a like if you do go on to gain value from it today, or if you're bullish on any of the 3 names we're talking about. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, want to catch more content like this. And of course, check out my complete portfolio daily newsletter. First link down in the description. That's going to be $15 per month if you want to know exactly how I'm personally trading all 3 of these names. So when I buy, when I sell, what else I'm trading. Obviously, you guys, these are the 3 stocks I'm personally the most bullish on. But that doesn't mean I'm not trading other things. That doesn't mean there aren't other names in the market that are exciting me and that I'm playing as well. Okay, so if you want to know exactly how I'm trading those, I do update that every trading day during market hours. All call options, put options, stock positions, cryptocurrency positions, and along with every single update, I do send out an email newsletter rationalizing my thoughts, letting you guys know why I'm trading the way I'm trading, and as well as throwing a few charts in there. Even if I'm not trading something, if I feel like a chart is important for you guys to look at, if it's part of the portfolio, I do want to let you guys know what I'm thinking during actual market hours. So appreciate it if you guys check that out. Again, first link down in the description, but if not, no worries. And before shouting at the Discord, I do have to address, I can't not address these glasses. Okay, this is the first time in probably like a year that I'm not wearing the yellow shades, but just came back from vacation. My lady got these for me. They're very thoughtful. Louis shades. They're definitely the most expensive shades I've ever gotten by far. I've ever worn by far. I would not buy these for myself, but my lady got them for me. And out of respect and honor for her, just appreciation for her, I wore these. She got them. Again, the Louis shades. They got the sick accents. They are in that classic, the traditional, so on brand, like the waves teal color that I love so much that I throw everywhere around these videos. So again, it means a lot. Thank you, Samantha. And again, if you guys don't like them, sorry, not sorry, but we're rocking them. If you guys really don't like them, of course, I will just switch back to the yellow. So please let me know what if it really affects you down below. But I like them, and again, it's gratitude for the lady, all right? So had to address that before we dive into the charts, before we dive into these 3 names. I will also shout out the Discord. So Fridays, if you guys are part of the family already, you already know Fridays are for the family. So I don't actually make updated YouTube content on Fridays. I do keep it strictly to the portfolio and the newsletter, but I do also hop into the Discord and chop it up with you guys. We do live streams, like a little live stream / Q&A right at market close out the week, just give you guys my thoughts on the week, and again, talk to you guys directly, do a Q&A. It's super fun to engage directly with the community like that. So this link will also be down in the description if you're interested in that, if you're really interested in joining the Waves family. But if not any of these secondary things that I offer, I truly do appreciate you guys watching here. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. So let's dive in. Again, we will quickly go over the fundamentals, and then we'll dive into the charts in the back. Getting it off with the Mars rover. You guys know the drill. That is Alternate Systems, or ticker symbol ALYI. Very brief summaries here, you guys. Alternate Systems is a microcap EV player who continues to release very strong news of their progress on a consistent basis. So before we dive in, you guys, I'm sure some of you guys may have noticed this, and I wanted to address this in the beginning, but I forgot. So I will now. All three of these names, you guys, are a play from each of the sectors that I'm the most bullish on pretty much throughout my career. So we have an EV play, we have a crypto play, and we have a cannabis play. These three sectors have by far made me the most profits, the most money over the duration of my career. You guys know on this channel we do tend to focus on the more revolutionary, the more kind of groundbreaking, world changing, you could say young and again, like cutting edge, bleeding edge sectors of the market, which is, again, if you know how to vet out these companies, where the most gains, where the most potential definitely is, especially with, again, these very, very micro cap players like we're talking about, at least these two right here. So again, I did want to diversify. As always, you guys, there's one of these sectors that will likely outperform the others. But as long as you're involved in these revolutionary sectors, there's so much hot capital in the markets, and especially with all the new retail interest in the markets, a lot of these younger investors, a lot of these newer investors want to put their money in things that they're excited about, in investing in their future. So that's why I do like to focus on these more revolutionary sectors. And again, I'm trying to diversify a little bit for you guys. So I just wanted to throw that out right there before we dive in any further. End of month price target is 25 cents, which is going to be a 4x multiple, considering ALYI is sitting just above 6 cents right now, way off its yearly highs, which again, a lot of these, you guys, all three of these plays have seen significant rallies already over the course of 2021 and seen significant corrections. So they got the eyeballs. Again, they have the fundamentals. The fundamentals are all there. I'm not going to dive super into recent news and stuff, but again, if you guys have been following along with the channel, then you would understand it makes perfect sense to you why I'm bullish on these three names right here, okay? Especially ALYI and CWORK, these OTC plays, all right? So ALYI, again, OTC play, the little D right here on TradingView does signify that this is an over-the-counter traded stock, over-the-counter traded stock or OTC stock. I personally use TD Ameritrade to trade these. I'm sure you can use Schwab. I'm sure you can use some other ones, but you cannot use Robinhood. So I just want to throw that out there right now. Okay, so ALYI, my end of the month price target, just to sum it up, you guys, we'll start with these like end of the month, more medium to longer term price targets, and then I'll zoom in and talk to you guys why I'm bullish on these as we actually enter the month of May. Okay. So end of the month price target for ALYI is going to be this target right here. And that takes us to just under 25 cents on June 1st. The reason for this is because this is a very strong trend line for ALYI. As you guys can see here, again, back in early February, right before we started talking about ALYI, if you guys have been around, ALYI rocketed, went parabolic all the way up to 20 cents. Since then has corrected all the way down to 3.5 cents, over an 85% correction. And again, you guys, in bull markets like this, especially with small cap plays that are so subject to volatility, keep in mind, you guys, the reason I really like these smaller market cap stocks, ALYI's market cap, according to TradingView, is $7 million. That is tiny, you guys. And as many of you know, I will, again, you guys can see why this is my end of month price target. But ultimately, my price target for alternate systems, or ALYI, again, like the Harley Davidson of the EV sector, they're targeting two-wheeled vehicles, motorcycles, targeting that market, targeting the EV market, and they're moving into emerging markets like Africa. Okay, so they're targeting an emerging market in Africa where predominantly everything they drive, not everything they drive, but the majority of vehicles in Africa are two-wheeled motorcycles. And they're also trying to be the Uber of motorcycles in Africa. So tackling the actual vehicle solution and then tackling the rideshare situation as well. Obviously, you guys, this company has to execute. It's very early stages, but the vision is of the best I've ever seen in the entire markets. And again, the market cap plays so in favor of the vision, as well as like the current retail investor environment. Like all the stars are aligning specifically with ALYI, and that's why I opened this up by saying this is the Mars rover, this is the Mars mission, this is the Mars shot, not the moon shot, the Mars shot that is alternate system. So ultimately, a $1 ALYI, because there's about how many shares are there? So a $1 ALYI, regardless, would equate to about a $1 billion market cap. That obviously means it is there's about 1 billion shares out there. So a $1 ALYI would equate to a $1 billion market cap. And that's why $1 is ultimately my price target. If they do execute, I do not think at all a $10 billion valuation is by any means out of the realm of possibility. Okay, so again, that's long term. I don't know if that's going to take a year, 5 years, 10 years. I don't know, but at some point, I would not be surprised in the slightest if ALYI or alternate systems does see a $10 share price. Okay, but let's focus on the now. So price target by the end of the month is just to test this trend line. I do think we're going to see some resistance here as well at this purple trend line. Say mid-May, May 15th, May 17th, whatever. say we hit that by mid-May, that would take us to about 17 cents. So even 17 cents from about 6 cents, you're looking at almost a 3x there. And if we can break through that, it's just a game of trend lines at this point, you guys. And keep in mind, maybe this doesn't play out over the month of June. Maybe this is a little optimistic. But because ALYI's fundamentals are so strong, in my opinion, it would not surprise me to see this thing go parabolic. Again, with market caps this small, it does not take much capital inflow at all to appreciate the individual share price. Of course, that works in both directions. That does create for more volatility and a more volatile, quick moving environment. But again, that's what makes these fun. That's what comes with playing these revolutionary sectors. With the ups comes the downs. That's why you have to make sure the fundamentals and technicals are all aligning. And again, all three of these, both are aligning in my perspective, or in my opinion at least, I should say. Okay, so ALYI again did break out of this long-term correction, long-term line of resistance, I should say, since it started correcting in mid-February. Been, again, absolute stark correction, crazy correction here. Pretty much came down as fast as it went up. Not surprising to see at all. But again, it did break above that, used that previous line of resistance as new support. Now we are seeing a reversal. Almost looks like it could start playing out like our inverse head and shoulders pattern. And again, you guys, because the fundamentals are here, the technicals don't concern me all that much. But I will say on the very short term, ALYI is printing a beautiful little bull flag. Again, parabolic move up followed by a descending triangle. In this market, you guys know, probably all of our favorite patterns on this channel, I'd say. Definitely my favorite pattern that I've observed over the past year specifically is the bull flag. Bull flags have resolved themselves far more often than not in this market, and we're seeing that on the short term. So I am confident. I do think ALYI is going to kick off the month of May with a bang. And again, you guys, this goes for all of these or any stock you're ever going to play. Draw these trend lines on your trading view charts and just keep an eye on the trend lines, because ultimately these price targets are going to be dictated by when the trend lines, these lines of resistance, are ultimately stricken or struck, whatever. Okay, so moving on to CurrencyWorks or CWORK. Let's read through this bad boy right here. So CWORK, while that loads, CurrencyWorks, or ticker symbol CWORK. CWORK is also a player with a very small market cap who continues to make waves. They're a crypto company with blockchain related endeavors. So CWORK, again, you guys, we've been talking about these guys for a while now. They're working on blockchain stuff. They're working on NFTs. Their most recent piece of news, they partnered with a pretty reputable company in the space. They're working on NFTs, kind of in the celebrity space, but I love where their head's at, you guys. Again, these are revolutionary sectors. These are bleeding edge companies. CWORK with a market cap of, what's CWORK's market cap? Just over $100 million at the time of recording. So ultimately, again, $1 billion in the financial markets is not out of the realm of possibility by any means. Again, you guys, with fundamentals as strong as these companies. So CurrencyWorks would not be surprised over the course of this crypto bull run. Maybe it paused for a little bit, but again, CurrencyWorks, there's always going to be winners in sectors, even if the sector overall isn't looking too hot. So CurrencyWorks would not be surprised ultimately to see it 10x to reach that $1 billion valuation. Of course, 10x from here would be about $20. So longer term price target for CWORK is going to be about $20. But short term, CWORK has one of the best charts, like the most textbook charts I've ever seen. Riot Blockchain, all of you guys know the name around here, around these parts. Riot is king. Right now, a little slow, but again, you guys, this chart, as I've mentioned multiple times, looks so much like Riot Blockchain did in early 2020. And obviously, Riot Blockchain had the catalyst of Bitcoin popping off. Right now, another argument for CWORK is because it's more blockchain, like tech focused, as opposed to like Bitcoin mining companies, obviously. And Ethereum, altcoins are really having a moment right now. That's just kind of an extra layer of my fundamental argument for the bull case for CWORK. Okay, so that said, again, you guys, it's hard to dispute for anyone who knows how to read a chart in the slightest bit. It's difficult to dispute how bullish this chart looks, okay? So CWORK in a very, very textbook ascending megaphone channel right here. Again, high, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low. Looks like we just established a higher low, found base off the overall line of support on this massive ascending channel. And it only makes sense to me that we'll at the very least come up to test the top side of this channel. May 19th, mid-May. If we do test this is my conservative price target. Would take us to just under $5 or about $4.90. If we could break through that, end of June 1st price target is to test the overall line of resistance. Again, touch point here, touch point here. Again, this cyan line I feel is more conservative. I'm more comfortable talking to you guys about that. So $5 price target, I'd be very, very happy with that. Again, that's over 2x from here, like a 2.5x from here. Very exciting stuff. But if we do ultimately break this, if we can break $5, then I think it's very, very likely that we will ultimately come up to test the overall line of resistance on this massive megaphone channel, which would take us to $6, exactly a 3x. Okay, so 3x, $300 million market cap, not out of the realm of possibility in the slightest for a company doing things as cool as CurrencyWorks. Okay, so again, hoping for the best. This is optimistic. Again, it's just very important for me to preface throughout the video that maybe this won't play out. I'm an optimist. but there are reasons I'm optimistic. So I hope I'm doing my best to rationalize my thoughts for you guys. So hopefully they're kind of resonating. But if not, also let me know in the comments if you think that these thoughts are ridiculous. All right. So closing out with APHA or Aphria. It's been a minute, but if you guys have been around for a while, again, we covered Aphria a lot around here, and it's just super exciting to see you play that. Personally, I've been invested. Aphria has been in my stock portfolio for years. The first time, I guess the second time, crypto in 2017 was the first time I made a significant amount of money for myself personally. Everything's relative, you guys. For me personally, is when I first made my big chunk of money was like buying ether at like $30. But the second was in 2018 during the cannabis rally. I remember I bought Tilray when they first IPO'd, the first company on the U.S. stock exchange or on the NYSE to be available to U.S. customers was Tilray. Tilray went from $20, bought at $20. It went down for a little bit. I was bummed, but then it ultimately went to $250. I remember cashing that bad boy out at like 200 or like 190, high 190s or something like that, close to 200. But again, it was like a 10x play. That was so sick. And again, that's why I'm bullish on all these sectors, you guys. Just spot a sector with promise over like the medium to long term. So like a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years even. Just find a sector that's early, that's in its, not quite in its infancy. These guys are like getting into their youth, getting into their adolescence, definitely more on the taller end of things though. But again, you guys just find these early sectors, just find some plays you like, find some plays with fundamental, like very strong fundamental prospects, and buy and hold them. Even if you don't want to trade these, many of you guys know I'm a swing trader, so I'm not day trading any of these. I do focus on like the more medium term movements, so like a few weeks out to a month or so out. But ultimately, you guys, just the safe way to play these, like if you find something you have conviction on fundamentally, just buy it, set and forget it, diamond hands, baby, okay? So Aphria, closing out with Aphria, let's just read through this quickly. APHA is my favorite company in the cannabis space from a fundamental perspective, and I believe cannabis is going to have a very hot month. So cannabis, again, just looking at this chart here, kicked off the year with an absolute bang, and with the Biden administration, with just all the fundamental stars aligning for cannabis. I'm sure you guys are all following what's going on in the cannabis space. Just from a legality, from a regulatory perspective, all the regulatory hoops are getting that much easier for the cannabis industry to jump through, because people are understanding that, you know, cannabis is not nearly as dangerous as many of the other recreational drugs out there, or even definitely like narcotics and opioids and stuff. Okay, so again, just kind of bias aside, cannabis looks great. Cannabis from again, you could argue kind of the strength of the financials of the cannabis sector, but that's why I like Aphria. Aphria has always been making progress. They've always been that, like, all the progress they've made is always fundamental. It's always like under good business practice, and they've always been profitable, which is why I really like Aphria. A lot of the other companies in the space, even the larger ones, like Canopy, like Tilray, they're not profitable yet. And actually, Tilray and Aphria did recently do a merger, which is why they actually outperformed the entirety of the sector during this kind of late January bull run, or early February bull run. I'm sorry. And since then, it has corrected. The fundamentals are still strong. You guys, if you guys have been following the channel for a while, you know the good old two-wave theory. The two-wave theory, again, big wave up, hype-driven, usually hype-driven bubble, whatever, but not a bubble because fundamentals are there. Bubble pops. This definitely did look a little bubbly. Bubble pops. You see capitulation. You see the line of resistance broken, which is what we're seeing pretty much on all of these. The overall line of resistance broken. This looks just like ALYI, actually. Again, resistance was broken, uses new support, and now it looks like we're gaining strength, we're capitulating, we're gaining back that investor sentiment and that momentum for the next wave up. So my price targets for Aphria, I do definitely think that this trend line will come into play. Again, mid-May, May 19th, that would take us to a $23 Aphria, which is very impressive considering we're at $15. I didn't go over the price target. I'm sure you guys can see that. So 2x, $30 price target by the end of the month for Aphria, which would be a 2x considering we were at just above $15 at the time of recording. So first, over the course of the month, because again, you guys, things don't go straight. I mean, I can't say things don't go straight up because we literally just saw it happen. But again, Aphria, a very cool company. I do think cannabis will see its time to shine, especially if capital ever starts to flow out of the other sectors of the market. Cannabis, from a market cap perspective, although this is $5 billion, still like 50 times the size of these other two that we're talking about, like 500 the size of ALYI, I guess. It's still important to remember that $5 billion in the grand scheme of the financial market is still a drop. If there's enough hype, again, we've seen it before. Tilray got to crazy valuations. That was bubbly, but it's still possible if there's enough hype. And in this market, as I was just saying, trying to reinforce my fundamental sentiment for my fundamental, I guess, just bullish sentiment for these three sectors: crypto, EVs, cannabis. Investors in this market, retail investors, younger investors, we know there's a lot of those out there. That's why YouTube is doing so. That's why, like, my YouTube channel exploded this, and it's such a blessing, but it's also so cool to like share kind of my thoughts with you guys and why I like these sectors, is because there's a lot of people out there who want to invest in the future. That's what's fun. That's what's cool. and people want a part of their future and what they think will make the world different. I do think all three of these will. So short-term price target for Aphria, I guess mid-May price target, I guess a couple weeks out, is going to be about $24. I do think we'll see some resistance around this trend line if we can break like $24, $25 just to play it safe. I think we're definitely on our way to test this conservative trend line. Again, maybe some traders are going to be looking at this. I'm definitely not going to be doing that. I feel this is a very conservative trend line. Would set a new yearly high as well, which I think is very possible. Again, considering all the fundamental, all just the fundamentals surrounding the cannabis space right now, it looks like we want to pop up. And keep in mind, you guys, Aphria is my favorite company. The cannabis space is full of very promising plays. There's more microcap plays there as well. I learned in 2018 that I personally probably shouldn't play those. I'll stick to what I know. I'll stick to what I feel is very fundamentally sound. But again, you guys, if a sector moves, it's very likely many other players in the sector will do well as well. Okay, so Aphria is my horse in the race. End of the month price target. Sorry, that's June 15th. Let's do June 1st right here. Is going to be $33, which is over 2x from here right here. Okay, so we'll call it there, you guys. Again, I hope you appreciated it. Let me know what you think about the glasses. Throw some love down there for the lady. If you like them, if you don't like them, please be nice because she would appreciate it. I was going to share these comments. So I appreciate you guys watching, and please let me know what stocks you're personally the most bullish on as we move into the month of May. Again, these are just my three. This is just my opinion, but always know, you guys, my money's on what I'm saying. So please share your thoughts with me down below, and I'll catch you downstairs in the comments. Until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace, guys.